Alright guys, let's start this right away. We're going to be creating a game called Runner, and it's in Unity3d. So let's just push the space or X on the keyboard, and it's basically a cube running across a map with different platforms to jump on. You can see there's particles flying through the air, and you can see our background looks sort of like buildings. Those are going to be called skylines through this video, so you'll see that. And this cube that's floating allows the cube to double jump in the air, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get started. So I'm gonna try something a little different this time. I'm going to be creating a series. I'm not going to create one large video, so they're much shorter, and you'll know what you're watching and what videos to watch if you miss something. So I'm gonna keep them short as I can. At least under 10 minutes. So you can name this whatever you like. I'm gonna name mine Runner 1 for this tutorial, and we're not going to include any packages because you don't need them. So we're going to create. So this is how I like my setup. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. It's just the way I like it to be. So you can adjust it to make it look like mine. But we're going to go to game and set our aspect ratio to 16:10. And then we'll go back to our scene. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a directional light. So we're going to go to game object, create other, and directional light. Here you go. So for our directional light rotation, in our X direction we want it to be 20, in our Y direction we want it to be 330, in our Z direction we want it to be 0. So that's all we need. Position is not needed to be changed. So the next thing we're going to do is go to our main camera and change our field of view to 30, and we're going to change the position of our camera. In the X direction is going to be 5, Y direction it's going to be 1 or 15, and our Z direction is going to be -40. And the rotation of our main camera will be 20 in the X direction, 0 in the Y, and 0 in the Z. So after you're done with that, we're going to create 3 cubes. So to do that, we got to go to our game object and then create other cube. So I right click, duplicate, so make 3 cubes. And we're going to name one cube Runner. And then our other cube, we're going to call it Skyline Close. And then our other cube is going to be called Skyline Far Away. And on both the skyline cubes, we're going to remove our box collider because they're not needed. This is just our background. We're not going to use our background. So just going to uncheck the box collider on both of them. Oops. Alright, next we're going to create, and then we're going to go material. We're going to create 3 different types of material. So new material, we're just going to call this runner mat. And for our next material, we're going to call one of them Skyline Close Mat. I like to capitalize them. and the other one called Skyline Far Away Matte. Matte is just basically the material we're making is basically just the color of our cubes. So we're going to go to our runner, and we're going to drag our runner matte. Oh, sorry, I forgot one thing. We want to change the position of our cubes. So for our X position for our runner would be 0 in the X direction, 0 in the Y, and 0 in the Z. And skyline close, it's going to be 0 in the X direction, 0 in the Y direction, and in the Z direction 50. And for our skyline far away cube, X in the 0 in the X direction, 0 in the Y direction, and 100 in the Z direction. So runner map, we drag it and drop it on our runner cube. Same for all the materials, just drop them in where they're supposed to be. So runner, we're going to click it. It should show up on the right inspector view, and we want to make sure our shader is on diffuse. So mine is on that by default. And then you want to color, you want this color to be white. I guess you can choose whatever color you like your runner to be. I'm going to keep it white. And my skyline close, this is just the background that we're going to have. We're going to give it these numbers here: 100, 120, 220, and then our skyline far away, it's not the same as the skyline close, they're a little different. It's going to be 110, 140, and 220. And we're going to create a folder. We're going to organize everything, all our files. So we're going to create a new folder, 2 new folders. We're going to call one of our folders Skyline, and our other folder called Runner. And we're just going to drag Skyline's material and our runner material into the folder that is designated to go in. And that's basically it, guys. This is just the introduction to get everything ready for all the coding that we're going to do. So we'll run this game. Run this. So it should look like this. If it's not similar to mine, rewind the video, see where you made your mistake. But it should look like this so far. And if you got this, then you're ready for the next video. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and like this video. Helps me out a lot, guys. And that's it. Later.